Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to take a look at another old game. This one is a DOS title from 1990, so quite a bit back. And if you can't tell right here, this is Beetlejuice, although I think his color is a little weird right there. This is Beetlejuice in Skeletons in the Closet. This is a arcade game where you play as Beetlejuice, and I'm going to see myself running around right here trying to kind of get to grips on what the heck we're actually supposed to do. I did play this when I was a kid. It has been quite a long time. Okay, so we can shoot, it seems, in all directions. What are we trying to do? We're trying to kill. Can I hit him? Okay, I got him. Seems to have given me some sort of power. Oh! It looks like I beat him. Okay, so it does look like the goal of the game is to kill everyone on screen. And what is Lydia's job here? Okay, so we got him. Oh, I see. Okay, so Lydia is sweeping or hoovering the enemies, and it probably looks like eventually these enemies are probably going to start shooting back and or, thank you Lydia, getting heavier in numbers. So I do have the documentation for this game, so we're going to let this play out, and I'm going to try to, oh, this was different. Oh, it's okay. So it looks like there's a power up there, and that one shoots his beetle goo in all sorts of directions. Oh, that becomes the basic attack then. Oh, okay. Well, that makes that real easy. So I have it pulled up here, so let's take a look. This is a classic arcade game, and it's long. It is 100 levels plus. That's pretty ridiculous, and has that very arcade feel where it looks like it just gets crazier and crazier. Sort of reminds me a little bit here of Robotron. And I like the graphics and the colors, even though some of them aren't correct. You're not working with a ton in DOS, but this is one of the nicer looking games. And of course, as you progress here, we're already at level 6. It's getting harder and harder, so we're probably going to get to level 10 within a couple of less than 5 minutes. So you can imagine how long this game would be if they increase the difficulty. Now, Beetlejuice, because this is an arcade game, you're going to die in one hit, and that is it for you, and you have your lives up there. I believe they're represented as coffins. You get 3 lives. Now, Lydia herself will sweep up the enemies that you kill, but she can also be trapped too, it looks like. I don't remember that. We'll probably see that happening a little bit later once more enemies come on the screen. But apparently she can get trapped. And when she gets trapped, of course, she can't sweep up enemies. And you're going to have to free her. Now, there is some strategy to this. You can't simply just go and kill and then have Lydia sweep them up, as you see them doing right here. They will, there is a potential for the skeletons to revive themselves. If you kill them and say Lydia is trapped or she's on the other side of the stage and it takes her a bit of time to get over there. Not only does that mean they come back, see we have more characters now, 2 different color skeletons, which require 2 hits, as I just lost a life there. And the big hairy and the Hendersons dude from the cartoon, I forgot what, I think it's her name was, don't quite recall. So here's another power-up. This one throws your head at a long distance. But if those skeletons do get out before Lydia can sweep them up, they not only revive, but they get a strength boost, so they can take an additional hit. So if they're white skeletons, which are instant 1-hit kills, they'll turn into those blue skeletons, I believe, and it'll take 2 hits. Now, as for the little things crawling around, those are beetles, and you can eat them. And every time you eat a beetle, you get a letter, and that spells out truth. And every time you do that, and the enemy on the screen dies, and they won't get back up. So you can kill them there, without the need for Lydia to sweep them up, if you can collect that word. That is the basic idea. Of course, since this is an arcade game, the more points you get, you have the ability to get another one up as you continue. Now, the trick is there's going to be more enemies, as you saw, than just the skeletons. And so there's a little more strategy. Oh, I got eaten by one of the sandworms. There's going to be a little more strategy because you're going to want to take out the other enemies, if possible, by sedating them and then heading to the skeletons, because the skeletons are the ones that once they die and come back, they're going to get stronger. So if there's non-skeleton enemies on the screen, you're going to want to tackle those first. Now, there's Lydia. She got captured in a cage. Let's see, how do I get her out? I think is it just time that gets her out, or do I have to destroy the cage? Let's see, or I have to go and do something. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? Do I have to kill an enemy? Let's see, let's get this guy. Will she come over there? No, it doesn't look like she's doing anything. Do I have to kill them all? See, this skeleton over there is going to get back up. And now he's blue. You saw that. I believe I need... Okay, that's it. So when she's in a cage, now remember, you do have to kill the other enemies. They will get back up, but the only way to get her out is to use, boom, that lightning power will open her up. Now, there is a number of power-ups. There's a purple one, so that's going to take 3 because he got up twice. The head, when you throw your head, that one right there that I'm not going to be able to get. Oh, I'm eating bugs off the floor. Great. That head one tends to be the best power-up after playing this a bunch of times, simply because this one is the shooting one is probably one you would go to, or the spread shot is what you would go to, but you really do want to get that head, especially with the skeletons, because it'll knock down any skeleton regardless of color. Got them frozen. Need to get those power-ups regardless. See, that scares him and it freezes him, but now he's frozen in mid-formation, so that's going to do me no good. I'm going to have to get another lightning here in a second. As for the enemies, there are a number of them. There's the white skeleton, the blue skeleton, and the red skeleton, or the kind of pinkish skeleton. That's the toughest one. The sandworms are always a constant threat. They cannot be hurt. You can't get rid of them. All you can do is dodge them. And if you stand still for too long, they will come and get you in your spot. So you can't kind of try to glitch the system and say, if there's a bunch of characters over there, you can hang out in one corner and try to kind of kite them to where you want to. If you stand too long, they are going to get you. There's also a special skeleton, Jacques, who's there, and he'll attack you. Ginger is the tap-dancing spider, remember? And then the big hairy guy is actually, the name is the monster across the street. I do remember them. So they're also there to try to take you out. And it's fun because they're characters from the show. So it is pretty faithful to fans and stuff. I do like the scene transitions. I know the stages right now themselves are just different colors and stuff, but the backgrounds do tend to change, and they do feel like the living area or the neighborhood that Beetlejuice and friends take part in. It's pretty good. As for power-ups, the head, that's the best one. There's the spit, which is a standard one. You got some explosions and some pits, and there's a couple different power-ups that work. And that's really mostly it. It is actually quite a bit of fun. Surprisingly, these simple games tend to do really well. I like these arcade games. Of course, you're not going to be sitting down here and putting, 10, 20 hours into this, but, back in the day, boot up DOS, toss in your disc, good 10, 15 minutes of fun every now and then. There's Jacques. You can see him walking around over there. Is a good bit of fun. And you can already see here by level 21, we are already seeing a pretty full screen, and it can start getting pretty well. Now, Skeletons in the Closet itself is not a name they just pulled out from a hat. It's actually an episode from the cartoon from the first season. Now, I don't remember what that episode was, but of course, as you can tell from the title, it has to do with a bunch of skeletons. So they just took that idea and ran with it in terms of making it into a game, which I think is pretty fun. Now, there is a couple of things to note about this release. Beyond it actually being fun, you would think that's weird to say that it's actually a fun DOS game. There's lots of fun DOS games. But it's the people behind this game, High-Tech Expressions. They are primarily known as a developer of essentially shovelware trash. They released a bunch of really crap games, but this one might actually be their best release. It's so simple that, I mean, playing it here in 2021, going back to it all these years later, you kind of get sucked into it. I was only going to play, 5 or 6 minutes and play a couple of levels, but you get kind of sucked into this kind of repetition, but the difficulty increases at a decent rate and kind of makes you want to keep playing and playing and playing. And it's a game that, because of its nature, you can really come back to because it's so small and so simple. Now, I don't know how many levels there are. It just says, the description is 100 plus levels. Some people say, there's 110 or 150. Who really knows? I don't think anyone's actually ever beat this game. But it's quite a bit of fun for what it is, and a decent release. Now, for High-Tech Expressions themselves, they were probably one of the first licensed shovelware publishers here in the States. I think they released the original Street Fighter, not Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter, which was probably nearly unplayable. They did a couple of Barbie games, some Muppet stuff going back even to the mid-'80s. They were known for a lot of software packs and printing banners and stuff. For their, I guess today, outside of this game, they're probably most known for releasing the Mega Man games, Mega Man DOS and Mega Man 3, most notable from the nerd videos that covered them. Some interesting things there that were really bad or interesting. My kind of experience with High-Tech Expressions, aside from this game, I didn't know who it was at the time, was from Operation Frog. That was the frog dissection simulator that came out on DOS and on Mac. That actually was a pretty big deal at the time. I got some news coverage. I think there was a case where frog dissection was required in some sort of class in a middle school or something to learn anatomy or something. I don't remember if it was middle school or high school. I think it was middle school when you do the frog dissection. And someone complained. One of the kids complained saying, I don't want to do this. This is gross. This is, unethical or whatever. And their parents supported them saying, okay, that's fine. You don't have to do it. And then the school, I believe, just failed them for that chunk of it. And they went to court saying you have to give, kids some other alternative to chopping open a frog. And one of the outcomes of that case, I think they did win that case. And one of the outcomes was a creation of Operation Frog. And High-Tech Expressions kind of piggybacked off that success because they got a bunch of money probably from the schools. Once you can lock in with something like the schools, they're just going to give you money for the licenses year after year for far too much money. And then I think from there, they kind of piggyback off. A lot of that success kept them alive in the 90s, and we got stuff like this. But 9 out of 10 times, you're going to find a really terrible game. This is not a terrible game. This is quite a bit of fun. So with that, I think we're going to wind down this episode, as I am probably going to keep playing this a little bit more. I'm probably going to start again. Level 30 already, just because this is addicting. So we're going to leave it there. Get rid of these skeletons. A nice little ending here. Press any key. And thanks for checking this out. Thanks for checking this out. If you want to see more weird DOS games, weird Windows games, and just kind of covered in a kind of casual, relaxed style, let us know. Like, comment, subscribe. That'll help. And let us know in the comments other games that you'd like us to check out. Until next time, bye-bye.